Welcome back to the Cali Current Podcast. It's your boy and homie Grimace
And Ish, your co-host.
coming at you live from the west side, Santa Ana, California, Orange County, 1503, baby. You know what's up. Hey, so we're coming at you. Let's be real. We've all been hurt. So that's, what we're going to talk about, the pain from these injuries. Right now, myself, I'm actually dealing with an injury, a back injury.
A re-injury, right? You already had that back issue before.
Yeah, I've had that back issue, man. It'd be lingering, or things would just trigger it every now and then. For me, what triggered it was actually doing the insanity workout video. It was pretty popular back in the.
I've heard of it. Yeah, I know it was intense. It was super intense, but I've never done it myself.
Yeah, back in like 2005, it was pretty popular. I think it was new, whatever.
Is that when it started?
I think that's when he made it. What's his name?
Is it like the boot camp workout or whatever? I don't know.
Yeah, something like
is
that.
Is it the same
Sean
thing?
T or something like that.
Okay.
But yeah, it's like a workout. It's like a calisthenics workout. Doing a lot of push-ups. It's like burpee type workout, burpees, side burpees, and you don't need no weights, and stretching. But yeah, today was the last day too. Well, I think there's one more left, the fit test. But I don't know. I just would do the workouts. I wouldn't really do it for checking the progress, which I actually should. That's a good way to measure the progress.
Well, speaking of working out and something happening to you, because that's happened to me. One time, I'll say 2 months ago, I went running. I ran running 4 miles, maybe 5. And 5K actually, or whatever the case may have been. But
you did a 5K?
Yeah. Well, I mean, just to run, the total equivalent of 5 kilometers.
5 kilometers. That's a
3.4 ish,
3.1 miles,
something like that. No,
or is that a 3K? No, it's a 5K.
3.4 ish, I think. It's a 5K.
I think it's 3.1, but it might be 3.4.
But the point is that you might be right. The point is that I went running. I thought I was being brave. I basically went all out as fast as I could, thinking that, okay, I'm feeling fine. I'm feeling great. Nothing's going to happen to me. But lo and behold, my left knee swelled up like a balloon, like huge. It wasn't an injury. I guess I may have strained a muscle or something. I don't know. But I had to ice it. I couldn't even walk.
It's 3.1 miles. But
yeah,
okay.
There you go. You're right. I should know.
How did it swell up?
Well, after I ran, because like I said, I went all out. I went so freaking fast in my mind.
What about, so it wasn't a re-injury? You've never had a leg injury before that?
I've never had knee problems ever.
So it was the knee. Oh, I thought you said it was the ankle for some reason.
No. It was my knee. My ankles are fine when I'm exercising. And even though I have bad ankles, it's my knee that usually gets messed up because they get swollen up. I don't know what it was.
So that was the first time when you were doing the 5K. You never had no other knee injuries.
It happened once. Yeah, I don't know if I ran about the same, like about maybe a year ago. My right knee swelled up like crazy. But this past time, about 2 months ago, when I did it, when I went running after the fact, it lingered for 2 days, and I guess they told me, well, drink some ibuprofen, and it took the swelling down. And I iced it, for the swelling too.
All right. And then, but that was the first, I'm just trying to figure out, so what caused it? Or you don't know what caused it to swell up?
No, I think it's just because of the fact that my age and, I basically overdid it. That's what happens when you get to be closer to 50. You overdo it a little bit, and things like that may happen to you. I don't know.
Oh, I thought this happened when you were like a young cat.
No, so I don't know if I've already explained it or not. I messed up my ankles when I was 17 at a different episode or on a different podcast episode. When I was 17, I was still working for Stater Brothers. I was out collecting carts because back in the day, it wasn't like today where, you collect 20 carts and one push and you use a rope or whatever the cart, the red machine at Target that you see. We didn't have that about, 1995, about 30 years ago when I was 17. So I was walking outside. I ran outside because I was wearing boots. I was wearing military boots. And I stepped on a little shell, like, where you get those prizes for a quarter.
Like an artillery shell?
No. No, those candies. Well, you could buy candy. You could buy the little plastic shells that look like eggs they don't have them anymore because they're already extinct. Where you could buy like a little, I don't know, tattoo or, the washable tattoo, anything, gum in that little thing. I stepped on one of those and I messed up my left ankle. But since I kept running on it and I was still running track, I injured both of my ankles over time.
So because you slipped on the shell covering
The
thing in
shell
the
egg.
parking lot,
Yeah,
doing the job,
correct.
and then you were able to run those, but were you running like? So that was the beginning. That was
That
the
was the
moment.
beginning.
Boom.
Yeah, that was the beginning because that was my initial injury of why I
Damn.
have ankle problems now. The problem is that I kept running on it, and I probably went to a sobador, maybe two different ones, and then I also went to a chiropractor who also tried to adjust my ankles, and I think they messed it up more. I don't know. I mean, my point is it never got fixed, and that's an injury for life.
Damn, that one's pretty bad. So what would you say? All right, what's your worst injury that you've had?
I think, just twisting my ankle or spraining it, more like a sprain actually, because I was wearing heavy boots, and I should have immediately just gone home and got off the work and went home, and I should have just nursed it, but I didn't, and that was my downfall. That was the beginning of the end for my ankles.
Damn. And so how did you know? How did you know when it was that serious? Like when you were running track and you're like, oh, I can't do this no more.
Yeah, well, I mean, after that, I got tired easily, and then it would swell up all the time. I couldn't be the same athlete anymore. This was closer to the end of track season, like in April of 1995. I mean, back then, I didn't even, at my senior year, I didn't take it seriously anymore because I was like over it. I was like, damn, this is my last time I'm ever going to run. I'm over it.
Well, I'll say my most serious injury would probably be or the most painful. I mean, what is the difference between most painful or most serious? What was the initial question asked on yours? What was
yeah, that was the
most
most
painful
serious
the
for me.
serious?
That was the most serious for me.
Oh, because then that left to longevity. And
It's it's not lingering. It's what my status quo is. I need possibly, but I can't do it anymore because maybe I'm too old. I need surgery, but even then, it's not going to 100% guarantee it's going to fix them.
what would be the worst injury? So would you classify as the worst injury? That was the initial
The
question.
the worst injury, I swear, is probably because I did have to go on disability. And remember how in the last episode I mentioned that I had to commute 2 hours in the morning from the IE to Simi Valley, California, where I had my court collections job, officer job, and my back started like stressing. I stressed myself a lot, like mental stress, because I remember that when I used to drive and I used to get to work, I used to be like jittery and I used to shake uncontrollably, and I think that was the worst. I think
Damn.
that's the worst thing. Anything with nerves is the worst thing that could ever happen to anybody.
So was that was the worst? And it was how did you get the back injury from sitting
Well, it
down
wasn't
then?
an injury. It was more like a back strain because I was commuting every day, Monday through Friday, and I think it wasn't good on my back. And I started having back issues after that, where my back would give out or something,
Damn.
Like, I mean, sometimes it might happen to me once in a great blue moon here now, but back then it happened to me constantly where my back was just aching a lot, especially from the sitting down at work too.
Oh, damn. Now that you mentioned the back one,
Yeah.
well, aside from the one I'm kind of feeling right now, but I would say, yeah, because at first I was thinking, all right, what's the worst one I've had? And I was thinking it was between breaking my hand, because that one was the most painful, immense pain, but also the back one. I had like the sciatic pain. Damn.
Sciatica?
Sciatica. There you go.
You have that? You were diagnosed with that?
I had the sciatica pain where it goes down the back of your nerve. It goes down to your leg. And that
Yeah,
shit
I
was
heard that.
painful.
Yeah,
I mean, that
yeah.
was painful. Excuse my French. And then
But
I
you-
was,
Wow, I didn't know that you had that. This
Yeah.
is the first time you hear there's a big tell.
yeah, that was painful. I was like deadlifting, and then like boom, I kind of deadlifted wrong. I was like, oh crap. And then
That could do it to you.
Yeah, and then so I was just like, I was in pain so much. I was like, dude, I can't live like this. Like I remember thinking that like that's a pain. I was like, I can't live like that forever. Like something like that. I can't live the rest
So-
of the life in that pain.
So how did you remedy that, if you don't mind me asking? Because everybody would like to know, because, something that it might help you might help somebody else.
Yeah,
Should have.
yeah. The cure for that was I just went to a chiropractor. He was really good, and I was just like, damn, and dang. I mean, the first session didn't fix it right away, cure it, whatever. It kind of like it was what's it called?
Like, how many visits did you have to go after you started seeing results?
It was healing. At first, it was like healing power, like heal. I was like, damn, like on the first couple, first, let me see, first 3 visits, it was like a nice little heal,
Yeah.
But then yeah, by like maybe like I'd say the eighth, for sure by the eighth, it was like back to normal almost. So probably started feeling like the third one, and I was like, dang, I couldn't believe that,
Were you really in
that the
pain when?
chiropractor was able to fix that.
Were you really in pain when they were trying to do the therapy and all that?
No, I actually felt good. It was like kind of hurt too, but I mean, I wasn't grimacing in pain when that happened. But damn, I remember like sometimes like you, it would just go out, boom. Sometimes I was just chilling with the homies, and then boom, like it was hard to get up off the floor. I was like, oh crap. I was just like, give me your hand. And it was like it was
So they had to help
painful.
you out, or really you had to like you fell to the ground or whatever the case was.
Yeah, like, or I think like I like was bending over doing something, but like the sciatica was still in the repairs. So then yeah, I had to get literally the homie like, oh, give me our hand, and then he helped me out.
Electrotherapy also works because they did that on my ankles when I first started going to chiropractor. First, I did a chiropractor before I went to El Salvador. Salvador is a Mexican twist artist that just basically does the chiropractor's
basically
job.
like a chiropractor.
Yeah, not certified though.
Not certified, nothing. Nah,
It's like going to curandero, you know.
Yeah, there you
Not
go.
certified, but they can fix you if you really believe in that stuff.
Yeah.
But the electrotherapy really works. But you know what also really works, especially with your back issues or whatever the case may be, acupuncture. Acupuncture is a miracle worker because my wife has back issues, not any longer. And I want to tell you guys something too. She's had back issues too, because something happened at a certain age, and then she started having issues. But one time we went ice skating, or sorry, not ice skating, roller blading / ice. Let me say it again. Roller skating. I can't remember anymore because roller skates are
Roller
the newest thing.
blading.
No, just roller skates. I don't know how to roller skate. I never learned. So my point is, we're on the rink and they called everybody off the floor.
On the roller skates.
Yeah, and then I crossed from the middle because we were like halfway through the round, and I literally fell on her. And you know what's funny? I yelled at her, "Are you okay?" But I'm the one that fell on top of her. I told her I'm okay. Actually, I'm the one that fell on top of her. That was messed up of me, huh?
I'm okay.
I'm okay. But actually, she broke my fall, not because I wanted to, but because I was really bad at roller skating. And after that, I think sort of her pain went away for the majority of the part. But I would never know what a back pain feels like because that'd be the worst.
Yeah, it's pretty bad, but yeah, good thing there's cures for that, so you could be able to remedy that. Cause see, mine, I mean, it's still kind of like, I guess, like messed up or whatever, like something not slight, because I mean I hadn't really had that back pain. I think I just kind of tore it from doing like some jumps, because actually that's what I was thinking about too. Is like I've gone through the insanity circuit like maybe this probably the third time over like maybe 11 years, maybe it's like the third time. So
Yeah.
and the other 2 times also, like I would do a jump wrong and like land wrong, and I was like, oh crap.
Yeah.
But yeah, and today, right on the last day, I was like, oh, I almost made it the whole training program without messing up my back.
Well, what are you gonna do to procure the pain or the discomfort at this point?
Yeah, so in other words, like how to avoid like some injuries, the common world injuries, like with working out, like that's kind of happened to me. But I think the main thing, honestly, is to like do the warm up and then stretching, cause
Stretching is vital before and after, especially at my age.
yeah, and a lot of us try to skip it. Like honestly, this morning too, I was like, I was taking too long doing other things. So then like I was trying to make up for it when I was doing the workout, and then I kind of didn't follow that portion of it. Like I didn't do the complete warm up because I was like, I don't need to warm up too much. And then the stretching, I wasn't really following the speed of the video because I was like looking at the minutes. And I was kind of just trying to get ahead of it. So did my own stretching. But I was like, oh, if I would have maybe followed the discretion of the instructor, I could have been on.
Well, you just got to take it easy, I
avoided.
think. I mean, no matter what, it's like everything else. Like me, like I said, I didn't procure my injury by being careful or cautious with it right after. I should have just went home, but I kept working on it. I mean, no matter what, I didn't stop working. I didn't stop running either or training or whatever, even though it was like late April and the track season was basically going to end like within a week or two. But my point is that you know what really was painful when I went to the Salvador, the Mexican twist artist, whatever they're classified as, and he was really causing a lot of pain. And in my head, I'm like, he's making me suffer. And in my head, I'm like, why am I suffering more? He's supposed to be fixing me instead of making me be more in pain.
Yeah, same thing with the chiropractor. When I went for the first visit, I remember too. It was like, this got worse, and he was even asking me like once he was finished, he's like, so do you feel better? And I was kind of like, man, it's really painful right now. And he's like, oh yeah, it's because I put you back into the thing in the line, your column in alignment, whatever. So everything is probably like not liking it, like the body's, pressing on the tendons or whatever.
Have you ever been burned? Because, and it has nothing to do with like injury, but you burned, right? Have you been burning yourself like on iron or something, or on a skillet, something that's really hot, like on the stove? You burn yourself, right?
Oh yeah.
So I'm gonna recount a story real quick because my brother, who's my age, he's my twin brother actually. We're fraternal twins. He was born one day before me, and when I was born the day after. So if you guys don't know how that works, please figure it out. Please comment in the comment section. You're listening or watching the Cali Current podcast with your host Ish.
Hey, it's Grimace.
And thank you very much for liking, sharing, subscribing, and don't forget to hit that bell notification button. So the point is that it was the 4th of July. We were about 12 years old. We were messing around with the fireworks. Of course, we like to grab them and throw them, or in general, all of them. It doesn't matter. But there was this one time that we were out with our neighbors next door. They're our age. We grew up together, and we just were messing around. So my brother had a tank top on that 4th of July day, and I guess the neighbor threw a firework, or it landed in my brother's inside the tank top. Damn. And he burned his side right here. And the first thing that we do is go to it because we were right next to their house, the neighbor's house, which was across the street from our house. And the dad goes, get the hose. Their dad goes, get the hose and wash him down.
Hose him down.
Hose him down. Like, he's not on fire. Why is he going to hose him down? But I think burning injuries probably are the worst. I've never had that severe. I've touched, an iron, and that's the worst that I've gotten injured while burning myself, or touching a hot stove or something,
Yeah, same here. Many like a mini one. I remember seeing that Dodger Stadium kid with the firework. I was like, damn. I was like, thank goodness. Like, I never got no exploding firework. Cause like, yeah, fireworks, 4th of July, man. Like, we're always messing with like fireworks. We would even get like 2-liter bottles and fill them up with gasoline, unknowingly, not knowing that gasoline doesn't explode. But
yeah, but in Mexico, the fireworks are dangerous, even though I don't care for them anymore. Maybe I did when I was younger. I used to buy a lot of them, whatever, the M80s and the big triangle ones. They're called palomas, and those are even louder. But I'm sure all we do for them is throw them, throw them, and sometimes you wait till the last possible second, like chicken, and you got to be careful. Yeah, they don't explode in your hand because they could basically blow your hand off.
Yeah, like that Dodger kid. I was like, damn.
When was this? Last season?
Yeah, how they just won the World Series. So everyone in LA was all partying and dancing. And then in one of them, they even captured this kid went viral. He blew up his hand with a firework. I was like, damn. Well, I mean, maybe not the whole hand, or maybe for sure
partial, maybe fingers. A finger. Oh, wow, that's nasty. What was it, M80?
Yeah, probably. It was like a M something. I think it was powerful. It was like a stick of dynamite, basically.
Yeah, I mean, we've all done it. I mean, if we have illegal fireworks, we'd probably buy them or something. But it's nor here nor there. Who knows where you get your fireworks from?
Yeah, I mean, the only way to prevent that injury is to use safe fireworks. These fireworks nowadays, they can just explode on you. I mean, when I saw what he was doing, I was like, I think he got impatient and he lit the wick right at the bottom. Because if you light it like on windy days, or sometimes it's hard to light the firework from the top wick. That's why sometimes you just lit the bottom wick, and then it gives you time to run. But he probably just lit the bottom of the wick and oh crap.
Yeah, and it's not a good idea otherwise also to get a bottle. Please don't do this. We're not recommending that you guys do this, and we don't condone doing these type of behaviors. That you take the powder out of a certain, I don't know, not firework like an M80, but like a piccolo pea or something, and put it put it in a 2 liter bottle. Put as much as you can in there, and then put a wick in there, a long wick, and then see what happens after that. That's not a good idea. Don't do that, please. Especially now that 4th of July is coming up in the next few months.
Oh yeah, we used to do that. We put it in the bottle, basically compress it, but yeah, I mean, as far as avoiding injuries, with fireworks, basically just play with them safe.
Those are
to
very
avoid those
avoidable.
injuries.
Those are avoidable, but people like to, I guess, be dangerous.
Yeah, so I mean, statistics according to workoutdaily.com, 50% of the regular gym goers experience an exercise related injury at some point. So damn, that's 1 out of 2 people. I mean, me and you go to the gym, or I've gone to the gym at some point.
Yeah.
So boom, I'm that 50% right there. If you haven't been injured,
I see people that go hardcore that overdo it, and I'm not talking about like your case or anything like that.
oh yeah,
But
that
in the
was
gym,
crazy.
it's like you have to know your body. You have to know what it is that your limits are. You have to understand what you can do. It's better, I think, in my opinion, because I've always been in exercising and all that, and an athlete, that it's better to do something moderate and do reps for that than to overdo a certain weight that you're technically not too used to, and doing less reps, because it's better if you do a lot of reps, because the weight is not going to overkill your muscles.
Yeah, the thing is, a lot of people when they go to the gym, or if they're just lifting with associates, friends, whatever, you try to overdo it, to be the macho man and push that big weight. But yeah, then
I've
it's
seen
more
that quite
wise
too
to
often.
go.
Yeah, there's always that one somebody, especially you see it on YouTube videos, where they're technically on their own, nobody's spotting them, and I don't see it often, but I know I have seen it where they're overdoing it a little bit, and eventually I have to go out there and help them because they can't get certain weight up, because after that they, who knows if they already did a few reps. I don't pay attention.
Yeah, and it's part of the statistics right here. Like, most common causes because of 38%. Most of them is because of bad form. So
Yeah.
and then you get bad form because you're overloading it, so you're
Yeah.
not doing it proper.
Yeah.
And then overtraining, like damn, that's probably what I'd be doing too, overtraining, because I was mixing that insanity with my own personal weightlifting schedule también.
Everything has to be done in moderation, believe. There's no such thing as, let me knock this out, I'm going to make sure that I go beast mode and all that, and it's going to do better results for you. It doesn't work that way. Exercising, like everything else, is knowing your limitations, knowing what your body can support, what your body can afford to exceed and or not take it to that realm. But yeah, know yourself first.
Easier said than done though, because
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be sometimes one of those dudes that just pushes it too much and want to work out too much and not overtraining.
I think that's the mentality of your
enough.
football training days when you were back in your 17s or whatever. I mean, because back then, of course, everybody encouraged you to push it hard,
Yeah,
especially your coaches.
especially.
And if you didn't, yeah, exactly. And if you didn't do it the way they wanted you to do it, you'd get slack from your teammates most likely.
No, but check this out. Like how you were saying, listening to the body. I remember one time it was freshman football, so where we were like pretty young cats. And then this other kid, he literally stretched himself into an injury. That was the first time I was like, what the, like he was just stretching, and then the next practice, the coach is like, all right, don't overly do it on your stretch, because if you overdo it on your stretch, then
that can be.
And he literally overstretched himself and out for the season.
That can happen.
Like, dang, that's crazy.
He pulled a muscle.
He probably pulled a muscle overstretching, or maybe we didn't warm up. I'm not, I don't recall if the coach warm us up before stretching, because you got to warm up before you even stretch.
Yeah.
So that way you get the good stretch, whatever.
See, the thing is, like I mentioned in the previous podcast too, they kids nowadays aren't used to a certain, I guess, regimen, if that's how you want to put it. Because when I used to be a coach back from 2005 to 2010, the kids used to be prone to injuries a lot more than I ever was. Knock on wood, I never got injured when I was an athlete. Thank goodness. I got injured at the end of my running career when I was a senior in high school. And it wasn't pretty, but At least it happened at the end. It didn't happen when I was a freshman or anything like that. My point being is that you have to, like I mentioned already, you have to know what you can do. If you feel a certain sting where you know it's probably doesn't seem right in your head, you should stop doing it.
But you know what? It is difficult. Like, I don't know if it's just I have a high threshold for pain or what. So check this out. During freshman year too, that's why I was like, wait, why not during a freshman? During freshman year, I was playing a football game and I broke my hand, but
Oh,
I wasn't aware to like till the following game. So I broke my hand. I'm just like, I think I might have broke my hand, and then my mom was just like, nah, if you would have broke it, you'd be like, agonizing and in pain and crying, whatever. I was like,
I
all
think I
right.
remember you wearing a cast that time.
That was after. Then I play another game, and then boom. Then like playing another game. I was like, man, this thing hurts. Like I can't even use it. Like what the heck? So then I finally go to the doctor after that second game, and he's like, oh yeah, you broke it. And then they put the cast.
Wow.
But yeah, see, I didn't even know. I was just like playing until the second game when going back at it. And then in the second game, then it's like, oh damn. Then it really hurt. It's like, oh crap, that's crazy.
Yeah, and like I mentioned, I always used to stretch out the athletes before and after their workouts back when I was a coach. That was the extent of what I could say to the kids. I mean, yeah, like I said, I was there mostly like a mentor, like I mentioned in the last podcast, but I was there mostly for moral support, just to be a good role model. And it was hard sometimes to see these kids, especially with shin splints, because shin splints can be avoidable. It's something where it happens. I don't know how they feel. I've never had it myself.
That's what I was gonna say. What is a shin splint? Because I know shin guards from
Correct.
soccer is right between your
It's
knee
just
and
a
ankle.
pain that you feel on your shins from either walking, but sometimes just people are more prone to it. That's why it's like you have to know what your limitations are in terms of whether you're going to be an athlete, whether you're going to work out for personal use or whatever the case may be. You have to always try to listen to your body. If you can't, then it doesn't feel right in your head. You shouldn't be doing it, because knock on wood, I've never gotten an injury like at all. I've been lucky. I've never had shin splints. I never broke a muscle. Sorry, tore a muscle. I never broke a bone. Nothing like that. So it's like it seems like you had a plethora of injuries when you were young back then.
No, not just young, even till recently. I mean, what was it? Just last year, I broke my right foot, my metatarsal.
Yeah, you said that
Yeah,
before.
I was peg legging. I had a little peg leg like a pirate and walking around. It's like, yeah, that sucked. And then when I was younger too, I've broken both left hand, right hand, left hand. Like, yeah, I had a couple injuries. Like, thank goodness they're all still working. Like, heck yeah, but.
Just be grateful that you're back almost at 100%. I mean, your back issue. I mean,
Yeah, I think I just overstrained it from jumping, because on Insanity you gotta do like a lot of high jumps, and I think one of those on one of the last jumps I probably like landed wrong, and yeah, it's like
it's a great thing
dang.
that technology is so advanced nowadays that they have basically fixes, not cures, because a cure is everlasting, but a
Yes,
fix
sir.
to get you back out there right away, or just to, I guess, cut the recovery time in either half or the majority of it. But we live in a great time at this point where technology can afford us to be better athletes. I mean, this wasn't the case 30 years ago when I was still an athlete, but I mean, that also technology costs a lot of money for you to be out there.
Technology and more focused now on sports medicine. I mean, everything's getting better. Like even the athletes, you see the athletes from back in the days compared to like as time evolves, they're getting faster, stronger, breaking more records. So, and that's all because advancements in that. So, well, what about as far as recovering from the injuries? What would you do? Ice versus heat.
Both are good actually. Ice is for the swelling portion of it, and heat is to calm that area, so it doesn't feel like it's gonna be too inflamed.
There you go.
The ice will bring down the inflammation, yes, but the heat will soothe the area, not for pain, but for the fact that it's gonna relax everything in that area, because the inflammation can only go down so much. It's not gonna go down 100% completely right away.
From what I've understood or heard before is you ice it like when it first happens. So my back injury, I should
Correct.
probably did it when I first knew
Yes.
in the morning.
Yeah.
And then thereafter, like then
Yes.
you could
You got to
heat
alternate. You got to
it.
do ice, heat, ice, heat, or whatever the case may be. That's why there's a thing called icy hot now. Maybe it hasn't been around all my 30 years.
Oh yeah, I see how I'm freaking Shaq.
That
Diesel
really works
would use
actually.
that.
No, I used it at that time to help me bring down the inflammation on my knee about 2 months ago. It works. I have it in my car actually. I mean, people don't say, it's mostly capsaicin or whatever. I've mentioned this before in a different podcast, but it does work. It helps. It's not a miracle worker. You got to work on it too. You got to do your part too. Drink, eating protein too helps you recover your muscles, and also eating bananas. Bananas will help you with the potassium that will help you to recuperate in terms of the way your muscles heal, as much as protein does too.
Yeah, bananas are actually like I try to consume one like pretty often because bananas. I remember reading this thing where it said there's like a lot of different things bananas do for you, which is good. The potassium and also just makes you feel better overall.
And heart healthy there too. They're heart healthy, meaning that bananas are good for you in general because a lot of people are not into bananas. I've loved bananas all my life since I was 3 years old maybe. And I eat bananas. I just had one actually about not too long ago today. Bananas are awesome. I mean, the potassium is great, and we need that too in our diet too.
Yeah, when I was taking some creatine before, I would get cramps. But then I heard bananas all potassium prevents the cramps. Or
it helps with the cramps. Yes, correct. And don't you just hate it too? Actually, when you get Charlie horses, like especially waking up, the first thing you wake up and you make a sudden movement or something, that's the worst feeling. That's the worst pain I think ever when you wake up. It's just
man,
especially on your calf. It really burns the worst on the calf. It's like the calf, you're not doing anything. You're just relaxing. You're chilling. And I make a lot of sudden movements. I actually twitch at night sometimes when I sleep. I feel myself twitching.
Have you ever had any other calf one? I mean, any other? Because that same thing sometimes when waking up, but I've never had the stomach cramp or anything else. But there was the calf that would cramp when. Oh no, not just the calf, the foot. The foot on my metatarsal one. Maybe it's probably related or associated with that.
Yeah, well,
possibly.
I mean, I've never had that injury, if that's what you're asking, or that any type of issues with that.
Well, yeah.
But also, I think it must feel really bad, especially when you remember you said you broke your hand and you had the cast on. I don't know how high you had it. I think you had it until the mid humors, right? I
don't recall. Some were probably mid, yeah.
Yeah, in the mid. Well, the point is that probably the worst feeling too is when you have an itch that you can't scratch and you have that cast on. That's like the worst feeling ever too. It's not an injury, but I'm sure that a lot of people can't, if they can't scratch an itch, then
it was a little itchy. I mean, I've heard some people get scandalous with it, putting ganchos in there, but it gets itchy a little bit. But it's like, it's not too crazy sometimes. I think that they'll probably get itchy because you can't wash it. So sometimes if it got wet or stuff got in it, then that's probably when it'll start getting like.
That's not good. Yeah, that's true. That's not good. But yeah, so I mean, no matter what, I mean, people rely on WebMD or people rely on Google to look on a search for any type of fast remedies, whether it be holistic or not holistic. But the worst thing that you could do, and I'm just saying it for everybody that might be suffering any type of injury or any type of pain. Don't rely on painkillers, period. It doesn't matter if it's Tylenol 500 milligrams or any of the generic or in general anything that has to do with ibuprofen. I try not to take it not because I'm skeptical of it, but because you don't want to rely on everything. Like, take a painkiller for this, take a painkiller for that.
Yeah, I remember the doctors, they would prescribe it, but sometimes when the pain is so bad, then it has to, I remember on the sciatica one, they told, take Advil. Not Tylenol, but Advil, and it would actually max the pain, but until he was fixing it, because like I said, remember, it took him about maybe 3 weeks to finally start getting some progress on it. But so within those 3 weeks, I was taking them. But
ibuprofen works well for inflammation, because I wasn't taking any, and then
that's when the pain comes.
The second that I did, maybe an hour later after that, I felt really good. Yeah. And I don't try not to take any type of painkillers, ibuprofen, anything like that. But there's stuff out there that works, but I don't rely on anything. I don't go as an immediate fix. So try not to get stuck on taking those for every little thing. It's like popping pills,
Yeah, I think like it's how you said you gotta like listen to the body or
Yeah.
because also with the what taking the drugs, don't just take the drugs like, oh, the doctor prescribed me these, so I'm just taking them just until it's fully cured. Like I would say like okay, when I was with the initial sciatica pain or I just when I just got out of the surgery on the metatarsal, then yeah, like the day after and that day after post surgery, post whatever injury, then yeah, okay, I took the Advil because it was immense pain. But then like 2 days after, then I was just like, okay, it was painful, but I could bear the pain. Like when
Yeah.
it's when you're grimacing in pain, then yeah, you want to take the
Yeah,
pill.
correct.
But
See, and that's how I was too when I first had the inflammation about 2 months ago. I couldn't walk at all. It was fat. And I just felt bad for myself because I'm like, well, I'm not doing anything to fix this.
oh yeah, you gotta get some.
I waited a day or two after, and I finally took the ibuprofen. And I walk a lot, even though I sit down a lot. I walk a lot too, and I should have just listened to myself and said, "Why aren't you doing something about it, dummy?"
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's like a lot of things with you know, with injuries to the body and stuff like that. Like we just put in the back burner. It's like I'll just get a check later. But then it's like, no, you got to get it checked immediately because you know time is of the essence. Well, as far as
Yeah.
you know all that stuff.
See, and that's the thing, yeah, I didn't do it when I was 17 when I first messed up my ankle.
Yeah.
I figured, oh, I'm just gonna walk through it. It's not a big deal, and it could get worse, and it did.
Yeah, like that's how right now my back injury. I mean, earlier it's probably like a 6 out of 10 the pain. Maybe now it's like a maybe like a 4 out of 10 pain.
That's not bad. It went down.
Yeah, it went down a
That's a
little.
third of how much you were experiencing.
Yeah, so I'm hoping don't gotta address it seriously. Hopefully, but yeah, if tomorrow gets crazy, then like I don't want to have to go to the chiropractor. But hey, why not?
Yeah, I mean, also when I had my hammer toe operation back when I was like 19 ish, in 1997, it was at the end of 96, early 97. I also I don't remember what I was taking for the pain. I would assume they would give me something strong, but I only took them for that time frame. But one time too, where I actually self-inflicted myself a little bit of pain, I guess more of an infection, because what I did was I have corns and calluses. Yeah, I know, as
Uh-oh.
attractive as that sounds, right? Um, my toes, especially my big toes on my feet, and what I did is I took a knife that I bought, a $5 knife at that time, mind you,
Nice.
that I bought, a small little knife that I bought from a guy that I used to work with at a pizza joint actually, and I didn't
Then
swab it with
disinfect
alcohol.
It's
Yeah,
like, boom, nice and dirty.
yeah, nice and dirty, and I cut off my both big toes, calluses or corns or whatever, and I got an infection, I think, on my left one.
Damn.
And then it was in the summer. I still remember the pain. It was like in 2007 ish, and I couldn't walk because I started getting a tingling, and I'm like, oh shoot, something is wrong. And maybe a day or two after that, I tell my dad, hey, I'm not feeling good. I gotta see a doctor, and I did, and they said I had an infection because I remember now how stupid I was to inflict that pain on myself or just to cut that callus without, with carelessness, without having to swab it for infections. I was dumb back then, honestly.
Damn, that's crazy. I mean,
And that felt bad. It felt really bad. I'm like, something's wrong with my body. I knew it right away.
yeah, definitely. You want to always take precautions. But I mean, you were young, so it's hard to. You're just out there like.
Well, I wasn't that young.
going
It
out
was
with the
in
calluses.
2007, so I was about 20-ish. Yeah, about 87, 97. No, I was already about 30, actually.
Yeah, I mean, for the calluses and stuff like that, you got the creams. Put the creams, the ointments. I think nowadays they even have pills that you take them and they attack some stuff on your foot.
But antibiotics are the business. They really do work because they prescribed me, I think, a 10-day regimen at that time, and I took them all, and it cured me right up. Even now, I actually hold antibiotics, especially like penicillin or amoxicillin or something like that, in high regard, because if I get an infection, I have a 10-day pack that I can take one a day, so I can help me procure anything that I might have an infection for. I have that on standby, actually. I believe in that, actually. I don't believe in painkillers, but I believe in antibiotics.
Yeah, like just listen to the body. I mean, antibiotics sometimes when you need them, but then you don't want to take too many antibiotics because then I heard then your body starts building up the defense up for it, and then Every
Yeah.
time you have to increase the dosage more and more and more, and it's bad for the liver and whatnot. The synthetic drugs
So
they
the
make.
point is, know thyself, and that's a famous quote. I don't remember who said it, but um, eventually, just you're gonna know what you can tolerate, what you can withstand, what you can try to do to fix yourself right away. Just don't procrastinate like me, because I'm a big procrastinator actually. In general.
Yeah, so listen to the body. That way you get to the healing faster, and let your body hopefully builds back stronger than before.
Yeah, and also, don't rely on Google. Don't rely on WebMD. I know that's the easiest thing to do. Yeah, maybe back in the day we used to look at dictionaries to look up stuff like that. But you gotta make sure that you talk to a professional care provider, and they're gonna guide you. Everything's telecare now.
Yeah, a professional guider or like a curandero, like you said, or
No, 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 no. Come on, a curandero.
I mean,
We're not trying to excise
a
demons.
sobador, a sobador.
We're not trying to get demons exercised out of you or anything like that. But yeah, whatever. You know what you have to do. There's a lot of relative things that you could go to.
Yes, sir. So it was nice having you all attend this little podcast.
Thank you very much for the Cali Current podcast viewership. We do appreciate you being here. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe. This is your host, Ish.
And Grimace, your homie. Just make sure, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Grow out the podcast. Tell your friends about it. And, give us a shout out. And let us know, what was your most serious injury and, recovery time. Drop it in the comments and, we'll reply if anyone could beat injuries that are, more drastic than ours.
Thank you very much again. If you can't punch it in, make sure you pull it off somehow. Thank you and have a
Peace out.
Shit, I didn't know what to say in the end.
I know you have because you're just a punch it out thing, huh?
Yeah.
I know, I should have.
It's alright, it's alright, it's alright.
That's it.
Let me turn it off. Fuck. Where's your phone? I hope it's